everyone. Welcome to Borderline. I'm your host, Diana. Today, I have prepared a very special show for you. I know the holidays for some are filled with joyous moments, and for others are filled with pain, heartache, loss, and loneliness. For those who are lonely or feeling blue, this show is dedicated to you. For today, I have asked Lia Shartava to join me in a discussion on air, as Kelly Shelton is going to be taking some time to focus on finalizing illustrations on our children's book and a new project we're embarking on that we will share with you live in a couple of weeks. Leah today is going to bring us some joy and laughter, as she is not only a brilliant Facebook meme creator, she's an artist and a comedian. And in continuing with the topic of connection, rather than me telling you her bio, I'm going to tell you what drew me to Leah. I saw her post on Facebook. I believed instantly it was the universe speaking to me. I did a little bit of stalking because I just fell in love and I felt this is kindred spirit. She has to be from somewhere unique. It has to be maybe Georgia. I felt it. And it turned out that she is an immigrant like me, not just from Tbilisi, Georgia, but from a country that no longer exists today, the Soviet Union. When I finally spoke to her on the phone, I found comfort in her voice. Where no one else understood me, she did in just a few words. Her understanding, her brilliant humor and wisdom made me realize that it's not only me who's here to help her, but she's here to help me. And for the first time, I was able to fully breathe. I hope she can do the same for you. So please tune in, as in a minute, Lia Shartava will be bringing us humor and laughter and coming at us live from Seattle, Washington. This is Borderline, airing on Jess TV every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Alberta, Canada time, 9 p.m. Boston time, on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook Live, 101 TV, NCG Television Network, and at jessfm.ca. So, Leah, welcome.
Hello, thank you so much for having me here. Hi, hi. Can you
Thank
hear
you
me
for
well?
being here.
You hear me well?
I can hear you.
Very good, very good. Wow, this is amazing that you found me. Amazing.
Yeah, well, I was a little creepy, but I think I just saw a random post and it was the last name that got me going.
Uh, do we know what? You are an immigrant. I'm an immigrant, but I love that you have no accent.
I work so hard to get
Oh,
rid of the accent
oh, you
because when
did.
I came here, my dad, he said, You can't have an accent. You
Oh,
can't. You will be judged if you have an accent. You won't be accepted."
oh,
And I was 9 and I feared having an accent. I even remember when my mom would go to the store and she would say in English with a really thick Russian accent. She would just try to talk and I'm going to do it for you, please. Just
oh,
I
God.
shamed my mother a lot. I
So you understand me very, very well. Now I came here much older, so you cannot lose an accent. But
No, you can't. You can't. You can't make
no,
it this.
no, I wanted to lose my accent so bad because just like you, I wanted to blend in. But
Yeah.
now I'm so glad I have an accent because let's face it, without an accent, I'm just a Karen. And with an accent, I'm an international Karen.
Yeah. This is why
Okay.
I almost wish I had my accent.
Yes.
And I'm
So
glad you said Karen because the other day my daughter said, sometimes you sound like a Karen.
I
Great.
love I
Thank you.
love it. Do you know that we Georgians, we are somewhat of a Karen, but an international Karen, really strong, outspoken Karens, obviously. Obviously. Do you know the story of King Tamar?
No.
So we are the only country in the world that had a female king 1,000 years ago. King, not the queen. her father said, I don't care. It's not a boy, but she's going to be the king, so no one will disrespect her. And she was the best king, the best leader we have ever had, 1,000 years ago. So, because of this, we have somewhat of a king complex, not a princess, not a queen, a
That is
king.
so true.
Really, you recognize yourself? That is very, very, very cool. Very cool. So, well, you are from Georgia. I'm from
Yeah, I
Georgia.
was born there, and recently my mom said we were from this village called Urbeli. So these were Russian migrants running away from, I don't even know what was happening in 1800s in Russia during that time. And they
Oh,
created the
wow,
village.
that early.
Yeah, very early.
Mm-hmm.
Very early. They settled, and we, my family, I guess, was prominent in the village. But then after that, there was another something happened, and I don't know. I don't know if you know the history better than I do. And they dispersed, and they ended up in Tbilisi,
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, and that's where I was born.
Uh-huh. Very, very cool city.
And my
Very
mom
cool.
was born there, and my dad was born there.
Wow, it's
And
amazing.
I want to say my grandfather too, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So,
then you, Diana, understand very, very well that what we are facing every day when we say, okay, where are you from originally? Now, you don't have an accent, so maybe you don't get this question all the time, but I do.
I used to. It doesn't matter
Oh, you do.
because sometimes other they ask a certain question, and I'm like, well, I'm an immigrant. And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, where are you from? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
from Georgia. And they're like, how are you an immigrant? It's a
Uh-huh.
state. I
Yes,
got that all throughout my childhood.
I
And I
know.
thought, like, but it's a country. You never heard of this country? It exists.
24/7. So for this reason, the way I start introducing myself on stage or now anywhere every day, I say, originally I'm from Georgia, but not the Georgia on your mind. And now from a famous song. And now there's a new edition on Vladimir Putin's mind, unfortunately.
Well, you are. You're always on the Russians' mind.
Always, always. And then you know why, right? What do you think?
No, actually. I just know that it's always been the parted
What
together.
what do you think Russians are so crazy about Georgia? They love the food.
Al khachapuri.
Oh yeah, all of it, all of it. Because when I meet Russians, they start like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, we love you," and I'm like, get so happy, and then they start listing the menu, khachapuri, satsivi,
Osatsivia.
and they're drooling, drooling, drooling. So it's
My
all good.
mom made me satsevi for Christmas.
Oh, she did.
I
Good.
ate the whole tub of it. Yeah.
Very lucky, very lucky. So about the confusion between Georgias, it gets so confusing. Do you remember last elections when
Yeah.
Donald Trump said he lost 12,000 votes in the state of Georgia?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
The rumor accidentally they ended up in the country of Georgia and messed up elections over there. It gets that bad, that bad. So let's be careful. Let's learn geography. Let's learn the
That there
political.
is a little country located over there. I don't even know how to explain where it is so Americans could have, because I don't like saying that it's, oh, Russia. Then it's just you become Russian, and then the question is, do you like Putin? And I
Okay.
don't know. I really
The better answer is always no.
depends
But
on the crowd, though. You never know. Because I have been with Trump supporters, and at one point or another, Putin was a cool dude in their mind, and they said, we like Putin and you're Russian, so how about you? And I'm like, I guess.
I think it's still happening. I think Putin and Trump, they're all lovey-dovey.
Yeah,
Something going on there. Attraction, fatal
there
attraction.
must be. They
Mind connection.
understand that it's a mind connection. They get one another.
Uh-huh. So about the location. So you said I don't know how to explain. I do have a joke about it as well. I mean, it's so weird to be a comedian because at this point we don't know where is our jokes or where is just conversation. So we can confuse people, but at least you know that I'm a jokester and I do stand up and I'm in love with memes. So the location of Georgia, the way I explain it is, it's between Russia and Turkey. So basically, it's a turkey sandwich with a
I like that.
with little Russian dressing.
Yeah.
I was going to say that Russian pickles because Russians love pickles. But when I told this to my friend, I have a mentor, Bob Bailey the third, good friend and my mentor, and I told him Russian pickle, and he's like, pickle? We don't know about Russian pickle. We know Russian dressing. And then I had to look it up, Russian dressing. So it's like the realities are totally different, you know,
Oh yeah.
totally different. So with a little bit of Russian dressing, this turkey sandwich, and well, this is not a good tasting sandwich at all.
The
So
rat.
we
Well,
no,
yeah.
the location is not easy. So we need like few white Russians to wash it down for the drink. But even that does not help. For this reason, we Georgians had to invent wine. You know about this?
Wait, what?
Wine. We had to invent
Oh,
wine.
wine. Georgian wine is amazing. Yes. So good.
Yes,
It's
but
so good.
yeah. Oh, you like it? Cool.
I do like it. It's the only red wine I'll drink.
Oh,
And
wow.
no,
Oh,
not to be, oh, I'm so it's actually it's just because I
taste
like
that.
the taste of it. I don't like the sweet Georgian wine. I'll drink it because it has that red sweet. But
Mm-hmm,
every other wine is too dry for me.
mm-hmm. I see. I see. Okay, very, very cool. So, also another, I don't know if you have ever been called, ever anyone ever called you Georgia peach. Have you
Georgia
heard?
peach. No, but I've heard of a Georgia peach.
You have? No one ever told you, oh, you are from Georgia. You don't sound like a Georgia peach or something like that.
Oh, no, that has happened. I don't know if I was full. There was some sort of nod to it. Yeah. I've gotten a lot that I don't sound it. I don't look it. It gets confusing. And then it gets confusing, but you're Russian, but you don't fully look right. And it gets really, really, I just don't know really where I personally fit in, even as an immigrant in the US today. I don't know where I fit in, like
Oh,
skin color wise, everything. Because for Russians growing up, I was dark, I was
mm,
brown. But then
mhm.
I come to America and I'm white. So it gets,
Oh my God. I'm working on that topic, and that's such a difficult topic to tackle and turn it into comedy. I will need like a 1 hour Netflix special or some kind of big Leah TED talk or something to
mhm.
that how we are white, but we're not white.
it, it gets confused.
Yes, because country of Georgia and Armenia, they're in the Caucasus region. So we
Yeah.
are the original Caucasian, but we're not even considered white over there. Russians think
No.
black. So I call this like 50 shades of white we have over there.
Well,
We
I
have,
mean, Russians liked white, really white. Georgians and Armenians were never considered white.
yes, because
Uh,
we have dark hair, dark eyes, and
Dark
like,
hair, dark eyes, dark skin in the summer, pale skin in the winter. That got confusing, but ultimately, I remember even as a kid just being bullied because I didn't. It was a Russian school I was in because I only spoke Russian in
mhm,
Armenia, and then I kids made fun of me and because I didn't look light enough,
mm,
And then
What?
I always had the trouble that my nose is too big, so I didn't fit it. And it actually stuck with me, all of that, little bits of those pieces. And even in the US, I just never knew where to fit in. So it was easier to become maybe even a Karen, sound a little nasal, and just get all that happening and just be nice.
Do you know what? I explained this so much to my friends, but it's so hard to understand for them because we are Caucasians. To Russians, it means we are dark. They called us black. You were
Yes,
not
they
here.
did.
Oh,
Черные,
you remember?
черные, были черные.
Totally. They called us straight up black just
Yes.
because somewhere in the middle of these 50 shades where we still have white skin, but we have dark hair, but they're up there, they're blonde, blue eyes. So,
Hmm. And
now,
light skin and light translucent skin was considered the beauty, the
mm,
aristocrat, the
and also,
bougie bourgeoisie.
you know the country Belarus, right? How do
Yeah,
you say Belarus or Belorussia? Belarus?
yeah,
Uh,
Belarus. Yeah,
Belarus. So, did you ever think, yeah, like, belly means white, right? Like, why
yeah.
white?
Like
Like,
Russia.
like Russians are already very white. Why do they need another country like white Russians, a separate one, separate supply of white
Yeah.
people? So one of the I looked it up, I did the research, and one of the sources say that's because that part was never conquered by the darker people, Mongolians, etc. So fewer blooded white people on top of the chain of the white people over there, like 50 Shades, and we're in the middle. So we were black, but then we come here and it says Caucasian means white. And we're like, what?
I'm white now,
I'm white. And then now they're asking, why did you emigrate here? Hello? We're all
so
white.
I can be white.
You are white somewhere. Like, do you blame us? Hello?
Really, really tried. And, as a child, I really, really, my motivation was just to fit in, just to fit in, blend in, be just like everybody else. And I forgot a lot of the culture in both Georgia and Armenia. I forgot all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't even want to think about it because I didn't want to identify. What was it like for you?
Mm-hmm.
Because you came here older, you had different motivation. You brought
Yes,
heart and
yes.
soul with you.
Yeah. No, when you come here older, you try to keep it as much as possible, and you are proud of it. And it's a little bit different. It depends, though. That's how it was for me. That's how it was for me. But it's interesting also that we were both born in the Soviet Union.
Yes.
So I do have a joke slash a true story about this about Georgia Peach. I was asking you,
Oh,
right?
yes. So, yes, yes, I want to hear this.
So please do not call me a Georgia Peach. This is a total true story. You can call me a Georgia Kalashnikov, maybe, because when we went to high school, we had classes, and it was called self-defense classes. We were defending self. It was during the Cold War from Americans, from American invasion. So we were studying Kalashnikov machine guns, like really well, and shooting. So my ex-husband, my daughter's father said, as soon as he walked into our class and saw Shartava, me,
Hmm.
taking part and putting together Kalashnikov, he fell in love. He fell in love. And that's it. Our
That's
unit,
impressive. How many
I,
people can say that? They know how to put together a Kalashnikov.
well, we were forced to. So
Well,
then I fell in love. We got married. Our baby was born. We called her little Kalashnikov. No, no, no. She has a real name. Her name is a Katie, and she's somewhat of a celebrity photographer.
oh,
Yeah, I'm very proud of her.
that's beautiful.
Yes, you and her maybe even can relate more because she also came a little earlier than me.
Oh, oh, that was she wasn't born here. She born
No,
in.
she was born over there as well.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
oh, that's interesting.
Oh yes. Probably really interesting to interview as well. Totally different perception generation, like between us. So It's interesting. Every generation is different. They went through different things.
Yeah, they do. But Georgia has been changing a lot.
Oh,
It's last time I saw it, it was Civil War was was coming.
oh God, yes.
So that was happening, and then that's all I know. I just know we lived a little bit without light,
Mm,
hot water, heat, but that was sort of a theme almost in Georgia and then Armenia. One wasn't better than really the other. There
mm.
wasn't much heat or electricity, or sometimes, and not just for a few hours, it would go on for long periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
That is all I remember. So I'm hoping you can shed more light onto the topic.
Oh God, do I want to go even back there when there was no electricity? Finally, we
Is
have
that
electricity.
far? That's far.
But when you ask like about the location of Georgia, like I try to put all this into jokes because I'm so tired of explaining
Oh
what.
yeah, that's why I'm saying just what your perspective, and I just want to. I'm curious in the jokes person.
So about Armenia. So after I talk about sandwich, then I mentioned that next door neighbor of Georgia is Armenia.
Hmm.
Most famous modern Armenians are Kardashians.
Oh
You
yeah,
you know that, right?
yeah.
They
They gave Armenians and you Kardashians just really put us on the map. You know, Snoop Dogg was supposed to go to Yerevan to
uh-huh.
perform, even Snoop Dogg,
Yes,
but then he
yes.
canceled because of the war.
Mm. So, and the most famous Georgian, unfortunately, is Joseph Stalin.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Yes, yes, we're not proud of that at all, at all. So, like, it's kind of not fair. The universe gives our neighbor Armenia the most beautiful ladies with big butts and gives us this huge dictator with a big mustache. I mean, so unfair, right? Not cool. Also, state of Georgia, celebrity born in state of Georgia, Kanye West. Yes,
Yeah,
yes. And ours, Joseph Stalin. But we prefer Kanye West over Joseph Stalin because at least he thinks white lives matter, right?
he does. I think
Yes,
he gets it. I
yes.
think he gets where we're at because
So
he's like,
does
okay, maybe
that.
I just want to be considered white too, dude. That's it.
Yeah. But Stalin did not care about white lives. He got rid of millions of them, you know. He
He
didn't.
did. I don't. He had his own rules. That was just he did
His own rules.
his
So
own
now
rules and his own game.
I know terrible game too. It's just so unfortunate. Oh, another celebrity from Armenia is Cher.
Oh yeah, Cher. I always know.
Yes,
And then
when
I always, but then I also learned. I don't know if this is obviously true or not, but I learned that she had a nose job. And then as growing up, I said, well, I can be like Cher as long as I get the nose job.
oh my God, you have wonderful nose.
Yeah, but now I really do like my nose now. It's unique. Now it's back in style having noses and eyebrows. We didn't
Uh-huh.
have it wasn't in style in the early 2000s or the 90s. Eyebrows were not in style. I look back at pictures, I had no eyebrows.
Well, I'm actually quarter Ukrainian, so I get a little bit of that
Oh,
Slavic. Yes,
you have
my
that Slavic in you.
yes, my grandma was a refugee from Ukraine
Ah,
in the beginning of 20th century, during the Bolshevik Revolution. Yeah. So now both of countries of Armenia and Georgia, they're located by the Black Sea.
mm-hmm.
Armenia, no, Armenia is landlocked. Armenia is
Yeah,
landlocked.
Armenia's Georgia. Georgia has
Yes, but Armenians love Black Sea. Love Black Sea. They always visit Black Sea. So we are on the Black Sea. I grew up not too far away from there. Like my father is not far away from the Black Sea. So there is always like unrest and wars and problems. I feel this is little racist. What if it was a white sea? Would it be the same? Like, is this like the discrimination against the Black Sea? I'm just being silly. She's like, where is the joke here? Black Sea. We even have Black Sea over there.
Yeah. Oh, I,
No worries. I'm doing comedy in my fifth language, and this is my second year.
that's
Um,
it. How did you get into it?
well, mostly through I always liked it.
Yo, wait, I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time hearing you, and that's part of the disconnect we just had.
Uh-huh.
Um, Let me see if I can turn you up more. Okay, turned you up more. I should hear you better. Sorry for the interruption. Just continue.
No worries, no worries. Well, I always liked stand-up comedy. Actually, when I came, all over the world, it's not as popular as here. America has the biggest culture of stand-up comedy. So when I always liked humor, always. Who does not, right? Otherwise, how would we survive? Like it's a form of therapy for a comedian, for a listener, for everyone. So always liked it. But when I came to the United States and started, my English became better. I started listening to stand up. I just went crazy. I was like, this is the best thing. And also, especially when I would become depressed and
Mm-hmm.
started freaking out, I had this, like, when I was a new immigrant, was a bit of a dark period.
Oh
So
yeah.
I started listening to stand up and it would start bring me back. So,
I can resonate with that. I can connect with that because when I moved here, I discovered I Love Lucy, and that
uh,
just changed my life forever.
oh wow.
But it was my secret. I never told anybody because what 9-year-old is obsessed with I Love Lucy? I
Oh
just
wow.
wasn't cool around the circles I was in. The little kid circles. They didn't even know what I Love Lucy was. Yeah, I was like, yes, I stay up at night and I watch Nick at Night. It's, but I identified with it because that's what reminded. I think 1950s is what is the closest to imagining what Soviet Union was like. Maybe for
Mhm.
us, I don't know, but I've really connected with Lucille Ball, her humor. I live obsessively, obsessively. Who were your
Unfortunately, I don't know her that well, and my friends who are like my mentors, they tell me all the time, you should, and
Yo,
I
you
will.
should, you should.
I will. I promise. I promise. I will.
Okay, if you do, then maybe we can do like Lucille Ball, Vivian Vance, fun. Yes.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Well,
But who did you resonate with for stand-up comedians? Who did you love? Who made you laugh on those dark days?
oh my God, everyone, and I love Dave Chappelle, and I love Rob Schneider, and Adam Sandler, and all the silliest movies that there are. I love those so bad, so bad. And but it was much later. In the beginning, I was just like laughing, and I loved
Hmm.
it. But then I had one friend, and he would tell me, "Oh my," he called me Giggles, because there's a club like comedy club in Seattle. It's used to be. It's called Giggles. So he called
Hmm.
me Giggles. Like, what's up with it? And he said, "Oh, you should totally try comedy." And I was like, "What? What? How is it possible?" But actually, my fiance, my boyfriend, he's a stand-up comedian. He has been doing it for 10 years.
Oh wow.
Yes. So one of our best friends, Travis Simmons, Big Funny, he's been doing it for 35 years. So I have a circle, and
Oh, that's nice.
yes, Bob Bailey the third. So I have three friends in my immediate circle, and they're all experienced comedians. So I don't know. They got into my head and they told me I can do it. I don't know why. They
I
just
think
put
you can do it. What does it feel like to get on stage with the microphone in hand? Like, what's that like? What is that experience like for you?
uh-huh. Well, I totally love it, and In the beginning, it was like so much excitement and total competition, to go there and make people laugh. And I was so curious to hear everything from everyone. But now I'm getting to the point where it reminds me of school. Because
What?
school, like you are writing
Oh
and
yeah.
do as good of job as possible, then you are memorizing and then you are trying to present it as well as possible. And I was never into that, memorization and presentation. I mean, yes, but no. So now it's like, I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? And do you ever have a nightmare that you are still in high school or beginning
Yeah,
of
all the time. All the time.
you do, and you're not prepared. You
All the
haven't been.
time. Never prepared. I'm always failing.
It's so horrible, the dream. So couple times I had the same dream about comedy. Um,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
yeah, because it's a and once
I
you
can
get
see why too. I can imagine. I can understand
yes,
that.
yes, and then when you get hired or like do small gigs, I still do small gigs. I'm still a baby
Hmm.
comedian, but like I have accumulated lots of material, so I'm getting serious about not being serious. So I have like when you get hired, it's your responsibility. You have to bring it on.
Yeah.
So it's becoming a responsibility, and I'm trying to catch that buzz again where like I'm super giggly. And I know lots of people get nervous like crazy, but my friend slash teacher, Travis, Big Funny, he trained me. He told me, imagine like you are in front of your friends and you are trying to make them to have fun.
Yeah. Bring out
And
the laughs.
I love that because we Georgians, Armenians, the whole that area, Caucasians, not white, dark Caucasians, we are all about hospitality and all about like we invented wine. I mean, come on, 8,000 years ago. So we all about like we love when people have fun and they smile and they laugh. I remember my psychology professor was telling me like, Leah, you always talk about fun and the party. Life is not one big party. You have to understand that, right? And I was like,
Okay, that took me a long time to learn.
not too bad. I'm Georgian, so I love that feeling. So I love the feeling making people feel good. And also, it's a huge challenge, like language wise. So I love the challenge, and I'm a linguist. My profession is
Yes.
languages. I'm a translator. I studied linguistics. So comedy is a language.
Hmm.
So it's like figuring out, like putting the piece of puzzles together, what's funny, what's not funny, how to make it work. It's just so much pleasure
Yeah.
on a scientific level as well, like writing level.
Um, no, sorry. Can you what is one, do you have like a little set you do maybe for 10-15 minutes? Any comedy routines you have
Well, I want
memorized you could do for us?
sure. I wanted to tell you about my favorite one that I've been doing recently, and you help me with it
Okay.
with
Okay.
it.
I'm in. Okay.
These days, Diana, there are so many problems in the world. Like it's so hard, right? Like it's so hard. It's hard to do comedy or have any fun at all. So
Yes.
yes, so let's do a little exercise.
Okay.
Well, let's say words. I love you.
I
I
love
love.
you.
I love you.
I love you.
Feels good, right?
I love
Special.
you. Yeah. Oh, I love you.
So in English, it sounds so wonderful. I love these words. I love you. Then, like for example, Spanish, te quiero.
Yeah, that I
Uh,
like that too. Te quiero. It's so sexy. Te
yes,
quiero.
exactly. Passionate, right? Te quiero.
Mm-hmm.
And now in Italian, te amo. Te
Te
amo.
amo. Yeah.
Sexy, right? It's supposed to be sexy, passionate, beautiful. Now, I don't know if you remember any Georgian language. Oh,
Not much except for, the food, khachapuri, satsivi.
now, good.
Chuchela.
Very good. But you know Russian though.
Barzomi. Yeah, I know Russian.
Even in Russian, I love you sounds pleasant. Tell us.
Does it? Я люблю тебя.
Yes, я
Does
люблю.
it? Я люблю тебя. Yeah, I guess я люблю тебя.
Люблю
Not
тебя.
used to saying it in Russian. I don't
Uh,
know why.
but it's not bad, right? Even in Russian, you know how people make fun of Russian. It's all
Yeah,
hard.
It's the scary language. Yeah.
Even but now in Georgian language, this is how you can tell people don't know. Oh, you guys, okay, you're not from state of Georgia, then you're from Russia. They tell us, right? But this is how you know that these are different cultures, different countries, because our languages are totally different. We can't understand each other.
No, not at all. The
At all.
letters are
Yeah.
Georgian and Armenian completely different, and they have no resemblance
No.
to the Slavic alphabet at all. At all.
Hmm? So now in Georgian, I love you sounds like this. Meshen michvarchar.
Oh, you have to do it slower so I can copy. Okay, hold on.
Michvarchar.
Michbachar.
Not bad, not bad. Michvarchar.
Michbarchar.
Very good. Does not sound sexy. Does not sound warm.
I think I spat at the computer a little bit.
Exactly, exactly,
There was
exactly,
a little bit spitting action.
exactly. Now, Diana, I used to be married to a German man.
Hmm.
In German, you say, I love you. Ich liebe dich.
Ooh. Ich
So,
liebe dich.
yes, good one, good German. So, mich war hart, ich liebe dich. Mich war hart, ich liebe dich. Obviously, our relationship did not work. Did not work. Our throats hurt. Totally strange.
I think my throat is just sore from just saying it twice.
I know, I know. Languages, man. It's crazy. Languages. Languages. So lately, people love this when I do this, and it's interactive. And I've been trying to do more and more language jokes,
Hmm.
and it's interesting. So I'm a linguist.
Yeah.
They taught me, but it's like totally worthless major, structural and applied linguistics. They taught us bunch of
It
dead
sounds
language.
really interesting.
Super interesting but worthless. Super interesting because they taught us bunch of dead languages. Like
I love that languages.
she loves dead languages.
Carpe diem. Bring it back.
Yes. So now, I mean, everyone who spoke those languages, they're dead. So now I see dead people. I talk to dead people. Recently, I started using like Latin on stage and Old Greek. What I'm gonna do?
That's fun.
What I'm gonna do with it? So, well, I already had a degree in linguistics, and then I was like, I need more education. I gotta go back to school, more education, and I was in love with psychology always, but for
Mhm.
some reason I did not study psychology. Before it was philosophy. I was into philosophy, but I ended up with linguistics. So, psychology, and I found this field psycholinguistics. It's between psychology and linguistics. It's a relationship between thought process and
Well,
speaking.
that's actually I'm trying to reestablish that connection within myself.
You need my help then.
I Yes, I do. I need that psycho healing that
Reconnect, right? Well, lots of us have a bad connection. So then I went back to school for 3 more years, and I got a degree in psycholinguistics. It added to my title the word psycho. I was already a linguist, became psycholinguist. Like 3 years of schooling for this. Good friend of mine did it so easily, like in 3 minutes, after chugging like Jägermeisters. She went,
I've done it through professional failure. The cycle.
I know, I know.
I've had the label, tried to hide it.
Oh, you have, right?
Oh yeah, of course. I had my crazy moments.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up in the US. I don't know any girl that didn't have crazy moments in the late 90s and the millennium. I mean, Britney Spears shaved her head. Come on. And my father was no better than hers.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always hard to understand. I never had those American parents.
Mm-hmm.
I had Armenian Soviet Union parents.
Mm-hmm.
And that's completely different than what my friends and their parents were like and everything else. And yeah, just different.
Like how do they compare?
I think I wasn't allowed to do anything. My dad didn't like me having friends,
Oh.
and it was very strict Armenian.
Mm-hmm.
He liked it when I studied.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like it when I failed,
Mm-hmm.
but I liked failing. I just
Oh.
didn't know it
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't like people telling me no. So I had to really experiment, experience that. Why are they telling me no? So yeah, I
Wow.
dove into that.
Very complicated. I can't even imagine like coming here that early, like 9 years old, and going through those. That I mean, I don't know.
So, but that's to me, you're like, oh, finally, older sister who went through a lot and can tell me what it was like, really wanting to even come here, the dream, the come to come here. Because for me, I don't know if I even had the dream. It was just kind of lonely. I got separated from my grandparents, my grandmothers,
Hmm.
um, and that was it. And I was new life, America, yay, that was it. I just knew Barbie lived here. That's all I
Oh,
cared about.
oh my God, that is so funny because I'm not from a Barbie generation. For me, I'm from a Kalashnikov generation. For us, like when Barbie came out, for me, it's like, I mean, it's super cute. I have nothing against it, but it's like, it's really good. Do you know what I like about Barbie? It has like this little skinny foot, and you can scratch your ear really well. I love that. I am sorry. I know you love Barbie. Did you see
Well,
the
I
movie?
really love the shoes. That was I
Oh,
never thought about scratching my ear. It was all about the foot and the shoe. Just how her foot goes into the shoe.
oh my God, that's adorable. Adorable.
It was just so cute. And other dolls never did that. Dolls before that, they didn't do that.
Hmm. I know it is very satisfying. It's very satisfying when the shoe fits the doll's foot.
Hmm.
It's like such a satisfying
It's just
feeling.
like it just slides in. Just wonderful.
That maybe it reminded you of the Cinderella fairy tale or something. No.
Yeah, it did. And it reminded me of all the fairy tales. And I remember they came right when Perestroika was happening. So we had them right before I came to the US. So there was just this flood of American movies, and I love The Little Mermaid. That's how I can explain my dad and me. I'm the Little Mermaid, and he's the king. That's our relation.
Oh,
That's what it is. And I always identified with that. And yes, so Barbie, Little Mermaid, slipper, the poofy dress. My daughter's completely the opposite. She doesn't like Barbie or any dresses or pink or anything. She has her own style, very artistic, deep.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
very
from
serious.
oh wow, 9 year old. Oh yeah, you are the same age when you came here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, very cool, very cool, very interesting, very interesting. Well, I do art. I try.
Yes, I saw your that was one of I didn't even realize you did comedy or you were funny. I just loved your art. That was the one thing I was like, oh, another artist. Yeah, I can support because I always love
But
connecting with artists.
you do art as well.
I'm not good. I write better. I love artists. I appreciate art, but the only thing I can draw is a tree.
Oh my God, I love trees and painting trees. I'm such a tree hugger.
Trees are fun. That I can do trees. I can do trees.
Cool. I can teach you lots of painting, lots of different things. It's like super easy.
We should
It's
do a how-to painting.
I love it. For me, art is only therapy. It's only therapy. That's how I say stay sane.
Hmm.
That's how I stay. I'm not really. I mean, I'm pretty good, but not that amazing. My father, he was a genius artist, and my mom,
Ah,
yes. So I inherited little talent, and I rebelled when I was a teenager. Like, no, this is not my thing. It's because of him, his influence. No more art for me. But then much later, when because of the immigration and all
hmm.
that, I was going a little crazy. Like when I was looking for the survival, like comedy, etc. That's when I started painting. So that's why I paint.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, I want to learn that. I want you to teach me.
Yes,
Yes.
I was abstract. I did so much abstract. Abstract is the best, and you can't
See, that's
fail.
maybe I just need to get into abstract because I hate following instructions. It's such a hard process for me. I don't like it. I read an instruction and then I want to rebel against it. I don't know why.
That's exactly what I do. Always, always. I
It's like
hate it.
if I see it and it says do this, I will do the opposite. I don't know.
Yes, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. So you write, I write as well. Like for example, if I'm really sad and if I'm dying, which does not happen that often, thank God. Like really bad things happen in life. That's when I write poetry,
Hmm.
and that's my outlet for like the extreme sadness. That's it. The rest,
Poetry, I like to think in poetry. I
hmm
like to think in rhyme sometimes, even though I entertain more myself in my head with my.
I noticed it because when you introduced me, you rhymed it.
I couldn't help myself.
Love it, love it. Have you tried hip hop?
No.
Like spoken word? No.
No, my sister always said, "Oh, try," but I was always so fearful of the stage. This is so new to me, coming out and talking in front of people, though this is just on camera, but that's still very, very new. I love doing theater, but I always had such stage fright, and then trauma happened, and I was like, "Who am I kidding? I'm not gonna do this. This is too scary."
But now you are doing it, so this is a
But now
first
I'm
step.
doing it.
You don't know what's the next step. Could be
I,
poetry.
I'm just going with it. Whatever connections, whatever goes with the flow,
Hmm
whatever people most respond to. I've embraced the fact that I am an entertainer. So
Which is
artist,
cool.
entertainer, and writer. That's what I enjoy.
That's how you found me accidentally. I guess this was some kind of, I mean, because I have now no idea how we became connected,
Yeah,
but
you
it,
just pop because I have so many groups on Facebook and just random people just pop up because honestly, if we all somehow connected, we know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone, and somehow that connection. And Facebook is great like that. It will tell you like, oh, you have one friend in common. But if you have like 5,000 friends and you have one friend in common, that's pretty good. Pretty
I,
random,
I know.
but a pretty good connection too. And I remember I just wanted to I didn't even know about comedy for you. I just wanted to connect with you because I was just drawn to the persona, and I was like, I need to find out, is she Georgian? Because this is the first Georgian person who is a woman. Excuse me, who's from the Soviet Union. This is the first person I am connecting with because I haven't met anyone else like it.
Oh, amazing.
Excuse me. Ooh. But yeah, I've never met anyone else from Georgia, from the Soviet Union. I met people from Georgia, but they were younger. Yeah, much younger, so they knew Georgia as a republic rather than what happened to it with the Soviet Union.
Yes. Yes, well, it's changing so much. Like every time I go back, it's different. So it's like really, really, really interesting. It's like a totally different country where I was born, I grew up, and then, now it's totally different. So it's kind of very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's so many changes. I can't even imagine that country went from being so many different countries,
And yes,
so many
oh,
different personalities almost. I mean, I bet.
I know. Well, also I do like now. What do I do for work? Of course, I cannot support myself with art and comedy. I wish.
Mhm.
Hopefully, it will happen soon. I'm very
You
ambitious,
never know.
crazy. That's what I'm in this country for, right? Like reinventing ourselves, right? So
Yes.
yes, but what I do in my everyday life, I do translation and
Hmm.
interpretation. So one of the ways for me to know Georgia is I help other writers and translators to write modern Georgian literature from Georgian.
Oh wow. Oh.
We read all these stories and novels and we translate into English. So that helps me to hear from modern stories, sometimes older. What's happening today? Oh my God, there's like so much pain because
Hmm.
with wars like civil wars, this that I did not even want to go there today. I wanted to keep it comedy, but that's how I'm learning from those books that I'm reading.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, painful. I don't know these generations that well. I don't know this country well. And it's supposed to be my country. So it's kind of interesting. About the translation, so I do have a joke, but it's a real story. Just like I think all of my jokes almost like true stories. Some of
Yeah.
them I'm playing with words, but it's just my life. So I'm translate. Well, I cry a lot. I'm a serial crier. Like if someone else cries, I start crying with them.
Oh wow. Oh lucky.
Yes, I have this strange, like, for example, I go to a funeral and I don't know person who passed away, but his family crying. I start crying with them, but like louder.
Oh
It's like
wow. You really feel it. You let
they,
yourself feel it.
they have to take care of me. I started, and like wife becomes suspicious. It's like, how did you know my husband? Oh, well. So once I'm translating at the courtroom,
Hmm.
so the lady starts crying. She starts crying, talking about her misfortunes, about her past, and I start crying with her. So I start crying so bad that this case cannot go on because I have to translate, otherwise no one understands anything. So everyone is waiting, the judge, the lawyers, the typist lady, the defendants, everyone, for me to stop crying. So I stop crying finally, and we finish up, and I'm leaving. And the judge tells me, Leah, you are the best translator I've ever met. You even translate crying.
Oh, oh, that's beautiful. Oh, but that's so important. I think that you're the most done empathetic translator, and that's so important in the translation, right? Oh,
Well,
that's so beautiful.
you're not supposed to translate crying. If someone's like, oh, you don't have to do it, like, no. But it just happens. To me, it happens.
Well, you
So,
felt the pain of the words. I feel pain, but I'm learning how to cry again.
uh huh.
I'm learning. I broke so much that I forgot how to cry. My sister,
Oh,
on the other hand, is amazing. I'm a little jealous. She can just cry. She'll just cry it out, and she feels great. And I'm like, I want to cry.
oh yeah, we are the other one. Like my daughter, she can't cry. She's more like you. She's like holding it inside.
I
So
don't.
like,
Somewhere, I trained myself that it's such a weakness. I don't cry.
uh huh. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and it just. But sometimes it's nice to cry, to just let it all out, release it, say
Yes.
goodbye to it.
I cannot control this. This is I cry with other people for other people. So sometimes I say like when I mention five languages, then I'm like I guess crying is one language I'm translating, one of them. Also, do you know what was funny? I watched your interview and you kind of opened up there, and it was very touching and moving. About the difficult time in your life.
Yeah.
it almost felt like going for therapy for a minute, when you open up about like deep pains like that. So I was like, oh my God, now Diana invited me to do an interview. Do I have to do this? I freaked out for a minute. Do you know what happened to me? It's a true story. Once, first time in my life, I went for therapy
Mm-hmm.
because I was going through tough times. I lived in New York City, so no one has money for that, no insurance, nothing. But I had to because I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna go crazy. So I went there like sliding scale therapist. So I went there, and right away, I told them the worst things that happened in my life, like deep pains from when I was five, this, that, and cried, 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 cried right away to a receptionist. Receptionist. I could not even make it to a therapist. This is how bad we need therapy, right? To a receptionist.
Yes.
And this poor lady, it's like writing, typing, and she's looking at me and she's like, that's not me. So I was like, I hope we're not gonna start talking about the past and just like dark ages, and I'm not gonna start crying. So that's why, like a
Yeah.
comedy, it's just
Well, I think we brought, well, you made me laugh. I tried to make you laugh. I don't know if others laughed, but hopefully someone out there found us fun.
don't even know if anyone was watching us, but they will. We are
They will. And
recorded,
we're
right?
actually basically out of time, so we get to say goodnight. Do you have any last 1 2 minute jokes you wanna leave everybody with?
Well, okay.
I know I
Well,
put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
oh, no worries. It just, I wanted to mention my fiance because I am so grateful to him. I'm basically doing all this because of him, because he's such a support. He helps me with jokes,
That's
everything.
so
But
beautiful.
yes, his name is Jake Moon, but his stage name is Baby Squirrel. He's a hip hop artist.
Baby squirrel.
Yes, he's
Is
like,
he on Instagram, Facebook? How do we find him? Maybe we can bring him on here.
yes, Reverb Nation. It's a site for music. So he's now number 10 in Seattle, Washington.
Oh, wow.
So that's, I'm like getting influenced so easily.
Yep.
Like, I'm going to do hip hop soon or something, like maybe two of us.
Okay, you both need to come on the show again, or he needs to come. We need to figure this out,
Yes.
and we will.
I do have a,
In the new year, definitely.
yeah. So no more time for life joke. We're good.
No, I think we got 2 minutes. I think you can do it quickly.
Okay. So a little relationship joke. Like, lots of people think that we foreign ladies, we're gold diggers, right? But her face. But not all of us, not all of us. Like, especially me, and there could be many others. Like, I'm a linguist. There could be many others. I'm a vocabulary digger.
I'm
Vocabulary.
too rebellious to be a gold digger. I wish I could be one, but I'm too rebellious.
I'm a vocabulary digger, so my boyfriend, he knew this. So that's how he trapped me with the dictionaries,
He found
dictionary.
you with the books. He got you with that book.
With the books, yes. That's how you trap foreign ladies. You keep it open,
You
and
give
guess
him,
what?
you show him a book. You let him smell a book.
Exactly, exactly,
Sold.
exactly. They're yours. So no, not gold diggers. I mean, I wish.
Oh yeah, wouldn't that be so much simpler?
I know. I wish. Do you have a kitty cat over there?
Oh, it's a doggy. Right
Oh,
here, come here.
doggy.
Eta Artimon. This is Artie.
Oh,
Artimon.
oh my God, so adorable.
Is
So
he so cute?
adorable.
All
I
right,
have a
Artie. We can say
sister.
goodbye.
Oh, hi, Artimon.
No kisses.
Adorable.
And I think we're done. I think we're out of time, and I really would love to do this again.
Yes, we
Um, I'll contact you. Let's do it again.